Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to use query in a report. We'll be learning about why we have to use query in a report, how to include it, what is a trigger. Like we'll be using three different triggers in the report. I'll be discussing you how to use the trigger and what is the use of the trigger, the methods which we're going to use it, and I'll be designing a RDL layout for you. So before we proceed, I would like to tell you that this is my GitHub page where I'll be uploading all the codes here. So you can check for your reference, and this is my blog where you can find the written information, written steps on how to do that particular program in detail. Okay, so if you click on this any one article, you can find the complete steps on how to do that. So if you can follow me, that is in this through this blog, like I'll be uploading all the information here as well. So let us go to the concept, today's concept. So the first thing is why we have to use query in a report. So query will be used to increase the performance. If you use a query in a report, that is used to increase your performance. Okay. So now in this video, we are going to see how to create a report to show top end customers records. Okay, from the table, from the customer table, top end customer record. So usually, if you go and check on the previous reports, you can see that you can create a top 10 records or top 5 customer records. That will be static. Okay, it will show top 5, top 10. But now we are going to write a code, like it will be asking you, it will be prompting you like how many, what is the rows you want to fetch. For example, top 3 or top 5 or top 2. Okay, so if you give the number, based on the number, it will be displaying you the information. Got it? So now for this, first we have to create a query. Okay, I have already written the query. I have discussed about how to create a query, what is a query, how to create it, what is a snippet. Okay, everything in my previous session, in my previous video, you can please go through that. And now I'm just going to show you, like this is a simple query which I have created. So T query. Okay, so you have to type T query for the snippet. If you type T query, you will get the snippet here. Okay, and I have named it like a top end customer. So this query is very basic. Okay, so I have used order by, that is based on ascending on number. So if you want to make it order by based on the balance LCY, you can change it. Okay, anything. So based on what you wanted to order by, you can just do it. Based on what you want to sort it, you can write it. And if you want to display this particular query in any page, so you can write this query category and caption. Okay, so if you don't want this, you can leave this. These are all not a mandatory property here. Okay, and as usual, inside the element you have to use the table name. This is my table name, that is the table name called customer. This is a base table. Okay, so if you click on this table, you can see these are all the possible, these are the available columns in that table. So I have just used only 4 columns, that is number, name, balance, LCY, and city. Okay, so if you don't want anything, you can leave it. Other than that, if you want to use any method, sum or something, you can also call that. Okay, anything is possible here. The only thing is, if you want to use that, you can use it, whatever possibilities. Complex queries, I have also explained about how to use the complex queries in your query. Okay, this is a simple query which we have created here. Okay, and next, now we are going to create a report. So the report part, you should understand it very very clearly. Okay, so if we are creating a standalone report, for example, if we are creating a report not connecting with any query, then it is easy. Okay, simply you can call the table, you can just write the table name and do it. But in such case, in this case, we are going to make use of query. Okay, I want this query name, that is top end customers query name, in my report. Okay, and I want to use only these column in my report. Got it? I'm going to use these, I'm going to display these columns in my report. So see, again I'm telling, what how many columns you want, you can just add it. this is for just an example. I have added only 4 columns here. Okay, let us go to the query part, sorry, report part. So first let us understand block by block. Okay, this is a generic report property. So this is a caption ml. You can use either caption or a caption ml. Okay, any one is possible. So this is a caption ml. This ml means multi-language compatibility. Okay, and application area is equal to all, usage category, additional search terms. If you wanted to add an additional search term, you can write it. Default layout, I am going to use an RDLC, and RDLC layout, this is the name of the report which I am going to generate. Okay, till now it is fine. Now, as I told, I wanted to fetch the column which I have used it in the query. Okay, this is the query. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to create the variable, that 4 variables here. Okay, this is the global variable. So top end customer is the variable where it will hold the complete query, top end customers. This is the name of the query. Okay, and this is the user defined name. This is my own name, user defined name. Okay, so even you can create it like a top end customers detail, whatever it may be. Okay, so this is user defined and this is the name of the query. So you can see that this is the name of my query. Okay, since it's query, I'm just trying to fetch the complete query here. So I'm just using the complete query, that is a query is the object name, and this is the query name, and I'm holding it in the top end customers variable. Okay, and the top n is the integer where I'm going to get it from the user. Okay, I'm going to get it from the user. So I'm declaring the variable called top n. Okay, other than that, customer number is the column here, customer number. Okay, n number you can see, and the code here you can see that the number and the data type is what, code 20. Okay, the same thing which I have created here, customer number code 20. So this is my user defined name, but because since I wanted to fetch the record, the column which I have used it in the quest query, so I'm just going to call it as a variable. Customer name has the same thing here. Okay, name of the customer, balance and city. So I'm just writing customer balance and city. Okay, so whatever you want, you can just write it city, and you have to name it exactly like what is there. A city is a text of 30. Okay, so I'm just going to use a text of 30. Okay, and you can, okay, text city here, it's already there. So I'm just writing it here, city. Okay, got it. So the variable you have to define it here. Okay, and we going to use these variables as a data item of the report. Okay, we are not going to call the table directly. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the request page. Okay, here you can see this is the request page. This is the second block which I'm going to explain you, because since I told that you will be getting the date, that is a number from the user. Okay, the that will be a prompting, that will be a request page which will be prompting you to enter the um, number. Okay, like how many, what is a top number you have to fetch it. For example, if you want to fetch the top n, top 1, top 2, top 3, whatever it may be, you can type it. So that is why I have added the request page here. Okay, under this so field, what I have to fetch it, I have to get the top n, that is what the variable which we have created. So it will be prompting me for the variable field, and the caption, it will be showing you like top records which you like to create, generate a report. And this is the application area is equal to all. So the request page is very simple. Okay, request page will be prompting you for the input. Okay, so here I have in, and you can see that I have used 3 triggers. Okay, one is on pre data item, on after get record, and also I have created on init report. Okay, so let us understand what is on init record, on pre data item, and everything. So if you go and see here, so the first one is what, on pre-data item. Okay, so on pre-data item, if you see here, so here in this I have written the on pre-data item inside the data item. Okay, this is a data item block inside the data set. You can see this is on pre-data item and on after get record. Okay, these two triggers are inside the data set. Okay, data set block. Fine. So let us understand what is these two things, and you can see that on init report is generally for the report. Okay, this is on init report is general for the report, and on pre-data item and on after get record is for the data item. Okay, so what is the purpose of on pre data item is what it runs before a data item is processed. So if you wanted to do something before when a data item is going to be processed, then you have to write the trigger in the on pre data item. And on after data item, so on pre in the sense you can understand that before data item is processed. Okay, this is on pre-data item. On after get record. So on after get record. So you can see that every meaningful word will be like, for example, every meaningful word will starts with a capital letter here. On after get record. So here you can see that if once each time a record is retrieved from the data item. So this will be used to perform any processing that we needed, and it is based on the values in the fields of the individual records of the data item. Okay, and the next one is this is a generic for trigger. Okay, on init report. Okay, init in the sense initializing. Okay, initialized. So on init report is used to it is used to run when the report is loaded. Okay, so whenever the report is loaded, what you have to do, you can write it. Okay, this trigger runs before the request page is run. So you can see here that your request page is where you can see that this is here comes your request page. Okay, before it executes, your on init report will be executed. Okay, before any table views or filters are set, if you're going to set any table views or if you're going to set any filter, before that you're on init report. So whenever your report is initialized, this will process. Okay, this will perform any processing that is required before the report is run. For example, if you want to initialize a global variable, if you want to stop the report, you can do it. Okay, so here I have initialized a top n 5. So what is the top n? This is what the data which we are going to get it from the user. And if the user forgets to give any data, for that purpose I have given this as a default as 5. Okay, this is basically not required, but if you wanted to use it, you can use it. Okay, so you cannot find this as of now. The the on init report is not supported in report extension. Okay, you can only use it directly in the report, not in the report extension. Okay, so this is a report, and on init report I have told you like what happened here. Now let us move to the data set data item part. Okay, so now we have added the data item in the as a variable. So for now, usually in the report we used to call the customer. Okay, customer or the table name here as a data item. But as I told, if you wanted to make use of query inside the report, you cannot call any table, because if you call a table, your report is directly connected to the table, not to the query. So in that case, what I wanted to connect with the query in the data item. So what I have used is what I have used the dummy data item here. This is a dummy data item. Okay, so what happens here, this data item, basically it item which is like a placeholder for our query. Okay, so most of such situation, if we wanted to pass a dummy data item, because since this is a snippet. Okay, so if you go with a report, definitely you have to use the data item, definitely you have to call the columns and everything. So in that case, if you can't directly call the table in such a situation, you have to call the dummy data item. In most of the situation, we it will be solved using the integer data item. Okay, integer, if you write integer comma colon integer. It will be considered as a space placeholder, and you can call this query. Okay, whatever the data item you have created, you whatever the variable you have created, you can call it here. Okay, so data item table view, I'm just going to sort it based on the number. Okay, customer number, customer number. I hope you know what is a sorting. Okay, sorting is used to sort either ascending or a descending order. So column, I have called this particular variable, this is a customer number, this is a variable which I have created. So I have called this customer number, customer name, customer balance, customer city here. Okay, and as I told on pre data item, so on pre data item, if we wanted to run anything before a data item is processed, okay, what I wanted to process, I want to set the range between number comma 1 comma top n. Okay, so let us understand this. What is a set range? Okay, so a set range is what, it is a method. Okay, so this is used to set a simple filter on a field. So the basic syntax of the set range is what, set range, and inside that you can see a field. It should be some field, you have to write it on what field you're going to set the range from value. Okay, from which number to which number. Okay, for example, if you wanted, that is a customer, so usually we'll be writing with the table name customer dot set range, which means we are just calling the, um, we are calling the, that is we are just checking the table called customer. Inside that we are setting the range, and in that, if the number is the field. Okay, number is the customer number field in the customer table, and I'm just telling I'm going to set the range between 1000 to 10,000. Okay, so this is what the setting the range between this to this. Okay, it will be considering, it will be filtered. So here we have set the range. Okay, and number comma 1 comma, so if you just keep it, it will show you number is a field, it's an integer, comma 1 comma top n. Okay, and here you can find the top n customer. Top n customer is the variable here. Okay, top n customer is a variable here which holds the query, top n customer dot top number of rows. Top number of rows is the method, is the procedure, is the inbuilt procedure in which AL programming, where we are just calling the top n. Top n is what the number is, the value which we are getting it from the user when we initialize the report. Okay, and top end customers dot open, based on that your query should open. So okay, so top end customers is the query, it will open is the method to open any query. Got it? So this, we are going to write it in the pre data item, that is when before processing your complete data item, this trigger should work. Okay, and the next one is what, the on after get record. So when you got the record, so what it should happen, if top n customers dot read, okay, you are reading the top n customer. Top n customers is a variable which is holding your query. You can find it here, top n customers. Top n customers is the query. Okay, it's a variable which is holding your query. Dot read, we are just reading the top n customers completely. Then begin, we are just, what we are going to do is we are allocating the query value to the variable. Okay, so top n customers dot no is the name which is written here, no. Okay, from top n customers dot no, this value is stored into the customer number which we created here. Okay, likewise, top n customers dot name is equal to, sorry, customers name is equal to top n customer dot name. Okay, this is a query. Inside that query we have the variable, we have the column name. We are just allocating, we are just assigning this column to the specific variable. Likewise, top end customer balance, and we should also save city is equal to colon equal to, which is like you are just trying to initialize the value to the variable. Top n customers, here you can see this is the global variable which is holding the query, dot city. Okay, it's very simple. Fine. So we have located everything, and finally we are just closing this if clause. Okay, sorry, this if begin clause, begin, and here it is ending, else begin current reports dot skip. If it is not, so current report dot skip, this is basically, the skip function is basically used to skips the processing of the current record when some condition is not satisfied. Okay, so what condition we are going to use, we are going to find the top and this, right, like a 5 2 or 3. So if that is not satisfying, then it will be skipped out and it is ending. Okay, this is the complete code which I have explained. Now let us just try to execute this code. Okay, press Ctrl S. I haven't generated the report so far, so what we are going to do is we are going to generate the report. Okay, and I'm going to design the report and show you how it works. O- okay, so now let us just generate the report. I'm just going to press Ctrl Shift and B. Okay, you can see that the report has been created here, that is top end customers report RDL. Just open, click and open it externally. So here if you wanted to add any header or footer, you can add it. So just right click on the shaded area, add a page header, uh, add a page footer. So whatever you want, you can just add it here. Okay, it will be added. If you want to just adjust it, you can just go ahead and give, that is, you can use the two headed arrow to adjust it. Okay, and if you want to add something on the header, for example, if you wanted to add the that is what to say, like a logo or something, you can add it. Okay, so I'll be discussing about all these things in the separate video on how to format uh, your report. Okay, so now let us directly go to the concept. Like if you click on this data set, you can see what are the data set which we have added here. Okay, now let us just going to use the table. Okay, click insert table and just drag and drop the table here. We want one more column, so you can just click here, right click on this, insert to the right. Okay, so the column is added, one more column is added. Whatever you wanted to add it here, you can just add it. If you want to just if you wanted to make it some more presentable, okay, you can just go and select here properties. If you click on this, the background color, if you want to add the background color, the pleasant background color, you can also add it. um okay, and if you want to add, so now let us just simply add, like for example, this is customer number and customer name. This is the header. Okay, the first one will be the header, balance, and city. Okay, and the second one will be the data which you wanted to input, that is the data which you wanted to display. I'm just adjusting this, and here if you click on this, okay, this is an icon, you will get the customer number. If you are not getting it, you can simply drag and drop it here. Okay, customer name, that is also possible. So let us just add the customer name, um, balance, and the balance city. Okay, so if you want to format this as well, you can just do here. You have the what to say, here you have you can select multiple row and select the font color. So which font color you want, if you wanted to make it as yellow, you can make it as yellow here, make it bold. If you wanted to So let me just go ahead with a bold. I'm just making it bold. Okay, and I can also edit it. If it's possible, I'll show you. I'll show you separately. Okay, probably in the next thing. And even if you wanted to change the color of this, okay, you can just make the color into something else like orange. Whether it is good, no, I haven't expected this. Okay, this is gray. Okay, fine. So anything else, if you wanted to change, you can just do it. Make it some more proper visible, and then you can save this. And we will close this. We can save and close, and now finally we are going to execute this. Control F9. Let us see what is happening. So here you can see that it is asking me, this is what the request page, okay, we have written here. In the request page you can see that it will be asking you something. Okay, top records which you like to get. Okay, this is the caption which is showing here. So if I click on any number, I'm going to give a number. So by default, it is showing 5, because if I forget to give some number, it should show some number, right? So that is why I have written here as a on init report top n. Okay, this is what the variable which I am just passing it. So it will be asking me for some number. So if I give 2, okay, and if I give a preview and close, so it will be showing me, yes, 2 records here. Okay, you can find it. You can see 2 records. Okay, so this is about top 2 customers. Okay, um, so if you execute it here, for example, if I'm giving top 4, okay, previously we have given top 2, now I'm just giving top 4 and click print preview. You can see the report here. Okay, so here you can see, since I have given here, why it is showing like this in the negative, because you can see that in the query I have shown like ascending. Okay, ascending balance NCY. If you wanted to change it, you can just make it as descending, where you will be getting the highest on the top and the lowest in the bottom. Okay, so this is how you can use the query inside the report. Okay, you can just better format it. So because sometimes, if you use top rows, okay, in the query, okay, you have an option called top number of rows. Okay, so that is, this sometimes is not working in directly when you use it in the query. But this, if you use that query inside the report, and if you call this top number of rows as a method, as a procedure inside the query, inside the report, this is probably working. Okay, I hope you understand the complete code, how it works and how you can import it. If you have any doubt, you can just leave your doubts in the comment, or if you need some more example for this, or if you have any other questions in your mind, then you can leave it regarding business central. So many are asking um, to include more lectures and more detailed information about a specific concept. Yes, I'm just trying to do everything. Okay, please wait until I just get some time and record it and publish it. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.